There are times when we seek to be the better versions of ourselves, but to our understanding, we may be failing in many parts of the lives that we were leading. It's one of the tools that are in our arsenal to use and view our lives from the perspective of past times. It's like the self-reflection in the mirrors of our consciousness. That very tool is the way we choose to use is our minds and the power to reflect on our past experiences and compare them to the present. Yet, the amusing part is that we often only focus on the positive memories we recall, forgetting the challenging aspects of our lives during those times. Nostalgia is a sentimental longing or affection for the past, often triggered by memories of personal experiences, places, people, or things that feel familiar and comforting. It's that warm, bittersweet feeling you get when you hear an old song, smell a childhood dish, or revisit a place tied to happy times. Psychologically, it's a way for our brains to find meaning and continuity in life, blending joy with a touch of sadness for what's gone. People often turn to nostalgia during times of change or uncertainty. It's like an emotional anchor. What sparks it can vary wildly from person to person, depending on their unique history. Søren Kierkegaard, the 19th century existentialist, didn't explicitly name nostalgia, but his ideas about repetition and recollection vibe with it. He saw recollection as a way to revisit the past in memory, which can bring comfort, but also a sense of loss since you can't fully relive it. Nostalgia, for him, might be a double-edged sword, satisfying yet tinged with anxiety over life's fleeting nature. But within the superficiality of life and what life stands for, this river of no return, we have to understand something that's very important about the fact of time and how it relates us to understand its touch on our experiences. Because if you think about it, the time as itself that may look like a river that never returns may actually be as steady as the moment itself when it showcases its current view on us. Immanuel Kant flipped the script in the 18th century by arguing time isn't out there in the universe, but a framework our minds impose on experience. In his critique of pure reason, he says time and space are a priori intuitions, built-in lenses through which we organize the chaos of sensations. For Kant, we don't perceive time as it truly is, we shape it. So our view of the past or future, it's a human construct, not an absolute reality. So if time does not exist, like in the terms how we think it does, and yesterday is actually today, and the future is also now waiting to be unfolded in our minds, then can we not say that the feelings we thought we lost in time and now remember with nostalgia actually are now, and they do not matter because we are constantly shaping our fate. So the thoughts of the past are just the things that happened in a frame without time. Let's break this down logically, step by step, as if we're unraveling a puzzle. Suppose time doesn't exist independently. Say it's just a construct of our minds, a tool we've built to make sense of the world, like Kant might suggest. If that's true, then past, present, and future aren't fixed realities out there, but categories we create to order our experiences. The question becomes, how do we train ourselves to focus on the present, this mental bucket we've labeled as now, and live life as it should be lived, whatever that means? Here's the reasoning. First, if time is a mental construct, then our perception of it is malleable. We're not bound by some cosmic clock ticking away. We're bound by how we frame our awareness. The present isn't a fleeting dot between past and future. It's whatever we choose to emphasize in our consciousness. Logically, if we control the frame, we can stretch or shrink what now feels like. Ever notice how an hour drags when you're bored, but flies when you're absorbed? That's the mind at work, bending time's shape. So, to be more present, we'd start by recognizing that our default mode, scattering attention across regrets about yesterday or worries about tomorrow, is just a habit, not a necessity. If time's a construct, those regrets and worries aren't pulling us away from a real now. They're just noise we've let dominate the signal. The trick is redirecting focus. Practically, this could mean anchoring ourselves in sensory input, what we see, hear, and feel, since those raw data points don't come preloaded with past or future tags. A breath, a sound, a texture. These are unarguably here, and they sidestep the mind's time labeling game. The payoff? If time's in our heads, then being present isn't about finding some perfect now that's slipping away. It's about owning the story we're telling ourselves. We stop being passengers to a timeline and start being authors. Life as it should be becomes less a chase and more a choice. What do I highlight in this scene? Logically, if we're the ones building time, we're free to build it however we damn well please.